Donald Trump is imposing tariffs on the entire planet, on and off, flip flopping like a fish on a riverbank. However, when it comes to China, he's standing strong and keeping those tariffs in place. Unfortunately for him and for the rest of America, it's simply not going to work. Let's talk about it. 大家好，我是 Surant 在中国. Hey everyone, it's Surant in China. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm having a great day over here as well in China, and the days are getting better because starting next week, I am taking this show on the road and going to start showing you all some amazing and inexpensive places to go travel and see in China. But for now, let's talk about this tariff fiasco that is being instituted by none other than DJ Tariff, Donald Trump himself. And it is such a crazy tariff situation that I honestly don't think even he knows what's going on. On one side, he's talking like a tough guy, a strong man. We will put tariffs on the entire world and they will kiss my ass. How embarrassing. As a politician, to say that is ridiculous. Absolutely childish and moronic, in my honest opinion. But even more moronic is these tariffs themselves. Imposing tariffs, taking off tariffs. Imposing tariffs again, taking off tariffs. The only possible way I could see this as being a brilliant move is if he is illegally manipulating the stock market in order to profit massively off of driving it down into the dirt and then picking it back up again, only to drive it down back into the dirt so that all his rich friends and cronies can buy the bottoms and sell at the peaks, back and forth, and make tremendous amounts of money off of it, as is evidenced by his own Congress, who are doing exactly that. It is criminal. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I wanted to give you a real life example of why these tariffs, especially against China, are pointless. Now, China has already come out and said, hey, if you want to keep increasing tariffs on our products, go right ahead. At this point, we're not even going to retaliate anymore. It doesn't matter. Once it gets past the 50% tariff range, it really doesn't make a difference as people will just stop buying those items, period. Now, when it comes to China, China has 1.4 billion consumers. They also have very good relations with the rest of the world. So, whatever amount of products that the American people are not buying, well, they will find markets for them. It's not going to crush China like DJ Tariff would like to have us believe. Not in the slightest. However, who it is going to crush is the American people, because there are many products that they simply must buy from China. There isn't an option. It's not like I can say I'm not going to buy reading glasses anymore. I just won't read. No, I need reading glasses if I want to read the text, the instructions on vital medications, on daily household products. So when it comes to reading glasses, which are all made in China, I'm going to have to pay the 50, 100, or 150% tariff that Donald Trump is putting on those products. So let me show you a real life example of something that I just purchased here in China that it's a bucket list item of mine. I've been wanting one of these forever, but due to the immensely expensive cost of these things to buy them from American made companies, now they're being made in China for the local market, and I am thrilled. Let me show you. Now, this is a Banjo ukulele. They have been absolutely famous instruments for decades. Actually, for over 100 years in America, made famous by some of the top musicians of its day. However, to get one of these instruments has always been incredibly expensive. To buy one of these in the past from an American manufacturer, an American company, would have cost me 400 or 500 US dollars. However, thanks to Chinese manufacturers and the fact that companies have started moving this kind of manufacturing to places like China, now this has not only become reasonably priced, but inexpensive enough that it would be crazy for me not to fulfill one of my lifelong dreams and buy one. Let me show you just how cheap it has become due to manufacturing in China. Now, like I said, I bought this one here from Taobao, which is the Chinese equivalent of Amazon. Taobao is amazing. Anything you might possibly want to buy is on Taobao, whether imported or locally made, or even better, locally made imported products. Okay, so in the case of this beautiful banjo ukulele, instead of paying 400 or 500 US dollars, I paid 398 renminbi. Now, 398 renminbi is 54 US dollars. Period. No import duties, no fees, no tariffs, no delivery charges, nothing. I paid $54 for this. My one bucket list instrument that I have wanted easily for 30 years. Unbelievable. Oh, by the way, if you want to hear me play this little beauty, I'm not going to play it for you right here. This is not what this video is about. However, I did make a video with this instrument. It's over on my other channel, Surant Style. So if you want to hear what this thing actually sounds like, by all means, head over there. I would love for you to go visit. And if you wanted to help me out, I've only got 28 subscribers on that channel right now. It is brand new. If my fantastic viewers and supporters wouldn't mind helping me out and popping over to that channel and throwing me a subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. 谢谢你们. There will be a link to the video down in the description below. But for now, as you can see, 398 renminbi, 54 US dollars, is so incredibly reasonable. 10 times less than I would have paid a decade ago for the same instrument. Now, that's not to say you can't get a good deal in America these days on these instruments too. Now that a lot of these instruments are being made in China, of course, the price is going to be substantially cheaper for Americans too. Yay! All those banjo ukulele enthusiasts out there are just tickled pink. So let's take a look at Amazon.com. And I will show you the cheapest, not the best, not the highest priced, anything like that, but the cheapest Chinese-made banjo ukulele you can get. And that comes in at $80, 80 US dollars, which is still not bad. But, of course, since it is coming from China, we've got to factor in the Amazon global shipping of $7.82, and then the estimated import charges, emphasis on estimated import charges of $10.78. So the grand total is $98.59. Let's call it 99 US dollars. So for this same style, quality, and maybe even the same company, it almost looks identical, doesn't it? You're going to pay 100 US dollars, whereas I paid 54. Now, still, compared to the original $400 to $500 price of the American-made banjo ukuleles, still a hell of a deal. But this is where Trump's tariffs start getting ugly, right? Because you factor in this 150% tariff that he wants to put on all products, and then the price starts getting stupid, right? So this 54 US dollar banjo ukulele goes from 99 US dollars up to 248 because there's that 150% tariff. Now, that tariff is not being paid by China. It is not being paid by the importers or the resellers. It is being paid by you, the American people who really desperately want to have a banjo ukulele. So 99 US dollars plus 150% tariff is $150. Add those together, you're looking at 250 bucks. So a $50 ukulele now costs the American people $250 or more, because as much as that 150% tariff is being passed along, there will also be other costs incurred that will be passed along as well. And I would not be surprised if you're paying $300 for the same ukulele. Now, $300 for this ukulele is still cheaper than 400 to 500 for a locally made one. And that's where this is really, really kicking the American people in the ass. Specifically by DJ Tariff himself, who loves tariffs. Tariffs, my favorite word in the dictionary. Well, you love the dictionary obviously a lot more than you love the American people, Donald Trump, because now, of course, very few people in the big picture want a banjo ukulele. I get it. This is me specifically, but there are people like me out there. But this is not what's going to hurt the American people. This is. Everybody needs cell phones these days. So your iPhone that used to be $1,000 now is going to be 2,500 for your grandparents or old guys like me. Your reading glasses that used to be $5 are now going to be $12.50 or $15. This is what is going to hurt the American people. These products that people can simply not stop buying. I don't need a banjo ukulele if I'm an American. I can live without it. That is the truth. As much as it might pain me to do so, I can live without it. But even still, if I insisted on having one, I would pay the tariffs. I would pay the 300, 250 or 300 as opposed to the 500 from the American manufacturer. So these 150% tariffs are not going to stop people from buying products and turn to buying American products instead. It's only going to penalize them from doing so. And that's why China is saying, you know what? We're done with the tariff war at this point. We've announced our reciprocal tariffs. We've put embargoes on certain things that America really needs. And now, Trump, you want to go 200%, 400%, 500% tariffs? Go right ahead. It's not going to change anything. Even if America did somehow completely give up on buying Chinese made products, which is impossible, well, China would find other markets for those products. China would lower the prices even more and sell more products within China. They might drop the price of this to 25 US dollars in China and then sell a million more of them, right? They might lose a little bit of the overhead profit, but they're not going to go out of business. And the Chinese government, unlike the American government, will stand back and support their economy, whether injecting cash into the economy, whether helping to create more prosperous and more financially viable trade deals with other countries, promoting BRICS, for example. BRICS, I think, is going to see a huge takeoff in the near future. But this is just one example of how Trump's tariffs are not in any way, shape, or form encouraging Americans to buy American, especially when they don't have the choice. Like I said, these things are not made in America. These things are not made in America. Even these things are not made in America. If your mouse breaks, if you drop your iPhone and smash it, what choice do you have but to pay 150%? Doesn't hurt China? maybe slightly in the long run, but nowhere near the damage it's going to do to its own people. So there you go. I just wanted to give you one real life example of how I feel tariffs are a failure on the part of Donald Trump. He should literally be embarrassed. And honestly, Congress should, the only reason Congress is still supporting him instead of impeaching him and throwing his ass out of that seat is simply because they're playing the game. They know that every time he says something stupid, the stock market's going to drop and it's time for them to buy. And then when he reverses that stupid decision, the stock market is going to jump and it's time for them to sell. In the meantime, they are making money hand over fist off of Donald Trump's stupidity. And it is criminal. And I sincerely, sincerely hope that the US people begin to realize just how his stupid games are hurting you. They're not hurting China. Really. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. Like I said, you want to see how this baby sounds, and oh, it's amazing. Come on over to Surant Style. Click the link down below. Help a guy out. Throw me a thumbs up. I've got 13,000 subscribers here. Let's see how quickly I can get to 1,000 subscribers over on that channel. And hey, come listen to the music. If you want me to play you a song, I'll play you a song. If you want me to teach you how to play a song, I'll teach you how to play a song. That's what that channel is all about. But otherwise, 谢谢你们, as always. Thank you for all of your support. Upcoming travel videos. I'm booking my train tickets and hotels next week for a $75 4-day, 3-night hotel stay by the beach in China. Check it out. See you then. 再见.